When I think of bogus celebrity activism, there are a lot of people who come to mind. A lot of people. But there's one person who sticks out very much to me amongst the others, and maybe it is because I have like a personal vendetta against her and her entire music career. But Selena Marie Gomez, I need you to get it together quickly. Celebrity activism is a very nuanced topic, and it's a very contentious topic, and I'd even go as far as to argue that it might even be an oxymoron because there's no bone in my body, there's no cell in my brain that allows me to believe that a celebrity or somebody born into wealth or somebody who came into a ton of wealth can really be a legitimate activist. Most of the time, when you see these actors or actresses or, singers or athletes or just these well known people, these so called philanthropists, give like a bunch of money, billions, not even billions, but probably millions or thousands to like a certain organization. Most of the time, it's done as a tax write off or it's just done for good publicity. But it's never really done from like the heart. Like it's very much like either a business transaction or I've been forced to do this by my management and my team. And this isn't even like a personal drag, but just watch how awkward this interview is with Selena Gomez and some fans who flew all the way from Saudi Arabia to meet her. Um, just watch. Just fucking watch it.
How are you?
Fine.
Good. Where are you guys from?
Saudi Arabia.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is this your first time here?
Yeah, it's first time in USA.
Oh, wow. Do you like it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
You guys speak perfect English.
The English teachers must be native. That's the requirement.
So basically, you're smarter than we are. That's what you're saying. Because you
No,
can
no.
speak a lot of different languages.
Yeah,
Well,
you
yeah,
can say it.
you can say that.
He's like, I'm not denying it. We're
Why
pretty
should
smart.
we deny it?
That's awesome. Well, how long are you guys here for?
3 days. 2 more days left.
Do you guys have any questions or anything you want to ask?
Yeah.
Yeah, questions.
Yes.
Oh, when is your next album coming?
Probably spring.
Spring.
Spring, summer.
All right, next year, 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Well, which song is your favorite one? Which one, like, do you listen in your car and stuff like that?
Of mine or
Yours.
I like to perform Who Says. I
Who
don't
Says?
really like listen to it on a daily basis, but I love performing it. I love that. That's amazing. Want to take a picture?
This room is city view as well as sea view.
And are these to anybody specific or just you want me to sign?
No,
Just sign it.
Okay.
So what do you do other than singing? Like, do you study something or?
No, I wish I did. You have to take advantage of it, see everything, try
So
to
you
get food.
suggest any places over here?
Do you guys like sushi?
Yeah, it's good, but it depends. Like, just tell us the vegetarian stuff because we don't eat chicken and stuff.
Oh, no, it's all fish.
Oh, it's all fish. Oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Shopping's good. Where is the shopping on 3rd?
Third,
5th. Which is
But
really
the thing
nice.
is, the shopping here, you can do anything over there in Riyadh or Dubai.
Oh, you
It's
can.
just the
Oh,
same.
yeah, you can, of course.
Yeah, it's just
You
the same
probably have
stuff over
better-
here, and
That's
the
true.
thing is the landmarks and stuff. That's not here. There.
Yeah, well then do that.
Yeah.
See, you want educational. I'm like, go eat and shop. That's what I do everywhere I go. That's how
yeah.
I learn my cultures.
Well, what else can we ask?
So, can you sing?
Can I sing?
No.
No, now.
I can sing now.
Sing your favorite song right now.
Why do you want me to sing
only one
so
sentence.
much?
I can't.
I'm not gonna sing for you guys.
I can't.
This part fucking kills me. Why do you want me to sing for you guys so much? It fucking kills me. I wonder why. I wonder why she can't belt a note at the drop of a hat. I wonder why.
Adored, set fire to my forest, and I let it burn, sang off key on my chorus, cause it wasn't yours. I saw the signs and I ignored it. Rose-colored glasses are distorted, set fire to my purpose, and I let it burn.
Because shouldn't have spoken to them the way that I did, and I shouldn't have treated them the way that I did sometimes.
Selena Gomez was born in July of 1992 to Ricardo Joel Gomez, who's of Mexican descent, and to her mom, who was born in Texas, named Mandy Teefee, who was actually a stage actress herself and has actually made some interesting comments in regard to her daughter's work, which we'll jump into later. Later in life, we find out that Selena's birth father isn't really in her life. Instead, she has a stepdad named Brian, and we'll just call him Brian. Brian Teefee. I think he might be famous for something or an actor or something, but I was too lazy to look it up. Brian and Mandy welcomed another daughter, actually in June 2013, named Gracie Teefee, so everyone's got the Teefee last name, except Selena, who still goes by her father's last name, Gomez. So she is indeed half white and half Mexican, which kind of explains a lot. Like many celebrities, she's been in a few entanglements and scandals, which honestly, a lot of the stuff that is reported is just fluff and it's low-hanging fruit for clicks, but some of the stuff does stand out to me. There's surface level celebrity drama, and then there's character defining moments where people just show their ass. And I get it, making mistakes in front of the whole world is a challenge in and of itself, but I honestly can't feel bad for these people who have more money than I will ever see in my entire lifetime. So with that, buckle up, Selenators, because I will not be nice. So earlier I did mention that Mandy Teefee did make a few comments to the press regarding her daughter, and this was around the time that Selena had signed on to do a Woody Allen film. It's called A Rainy Day in New York, and if you've never heard of it, it's because it has a 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb, and also it was right around the time that Woody Allen was going down for being a literal sex offender. It's got Timothy Chalamet, whatever. It's got Jude Law, it's got Elle Fanning, and some other people who aren't without sin. But yeah, let's stay on topic. But anyway, around the time of the film being promoted, a fan reached out to Mandy on IG and was like, "Why is your daughter working with Woody Allen?" And she basically said she had a long talk with her about not working with him, and it didn't click. Which made me laugh, because what a mom thing to say. Like, I tried, girl, it didn't click. Eventually other cast members came out and apologized, and probably just to save face. I highly doubt that they were actually sorry. Selena, however, as she usually does, remained silent. She didn't say anything about it. So, in regard to Palestine, she essentially and rightfully was criticized by people for being silent on the conflict, which is an open and shut case of genocide, by the way. So Miss UNICEF ambassador should probably say or do something, right? Wrong. Instead, she just deleted her account. But not even for like 48 hours. It was back up by the end of the week to promote Selena and Chef. And of course, the post is gone now when I try to show it to you. Another character-defining moment, in my opinion. Another odd moment that stands out to me is the whole kidney donation, quote-unquote, scandal. And I put that in quotes because it's not really that it's a scandal, but I believe that some of the stuff and some of the information that came out about it was just a little bit odd. And I will just let you watch these interview clips for yourself.
Well, she couldn't open a water bottle one day. She chucked it and she started crying. And I said, "What's wrong?" And that's when she told me. And she goes, "I don't know what to do. The list is 7 to 10 years long." And it just vomited out of me. I was like, "Of course I'll get tested."
You insisted.
Yeah. I called her assistant and I said, "Give me the information. I want to do this."
How were you feeling in that moment?
She lived with me in this interesting time where my kidneys were just done. That was it. And I didn't want to ask a single person in my life. The thought of asking somebody to do that was really difficult for me. She volunteered and did it, and let alone somebody wanting to volunteer, it is incredibly difficult to find a match. And sure, when you told your mom, she was like, "What are you doing?"
My mom didn't want to be there until I woke up.
What I wanted more than anything was that we were together, so I actually got a space for us to be in together. You know, you're on bed rest, you're allowed to walk an hour a day. You can't do any stairs or anything crazy.
It was hard because you constantly needed to ask for help.
Yeah.
I think one of the most humbling experiences was needing help to put on underwear. We couldn't take showers by ourselves. I mean, it was a really brutal process.
I feel that Francia saved your life.
Because she did.
Another clip I want to include is this clip from this extra interview. I find that in these interviews where Francie is by herself, the answers feel a lot more authentic versus the sit down interview with Selena and the Today Show feels so curated.
I'm okay now, and just for the record, had nothing to do with the kidney, because I don't want any clickbait. Had nothing to do with that. Because there's been so much speculation about that. You know, I went through a lot in my childhood, and I'll be talking about it very soon, about exactly what happened. And like I said, she's been such a huge support through all of that, and just a cheerleader for me through all of that. And just her stuff is a lot more public than mine. So I'm choosing to make mine public just because I think it's important. Again, you know, the way she's speaking out as a Latinx woman. I've gone through a lot of the similar situations, but as a first generation Latin American, which is a little different than what Selena went through. And I think it's very important for us Latinas, Latinx people to start talking about it because, again, we're out here, we're everywhere, and, you know, our story is important.
Okay. I'd like to point out that in this clip, she points out the differences in her and Selena's upbringings. She tells the interviewer that she's a first-generation Latinx woman, which is quote-unquote a little different from Selena, who essentially grew up half white, well, she is half white, around white people, and had one American-born parent while Francia had neither, which can explain a lot about Selena's worldview and how she doesn't necessarily feel herself being pulled toward certain conflicts and certain social justice-y type things that really don't beg for her attention, if that makes sense. Like, her empathy with minorities is kind of low. And when you're half white, I mean, and you have grown up surrounded by white people, it really does shape your worldview, and that's just the truth. They both admit that they did have a falling out, but it had nothing to do with the kidney. But I also wonder, like, where would your friendship be today had that not happened? Because that is a very big thing to happen. But the red flag of this whole situation, I think, is that Francia is not once mentioned in the entire My Mind and Me documentary that Selena did for Apple TV. Not once. Not even when she talks about how she doesn't have any friends in the industry and she mentions Taylor Swift, question mark, as her only friend. It's really strange to me, especially since she does bring up lupus and her kidney donation and her kidney transplant in the film, but Francia is not once mentioned by name. And then also the way that Francia finds out that she's a match, to me, is incredibly weird. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
From Selena, a FaceTime, and she's like, for a match! And I'm like, yay! What? How do you know this? I had a way that I wanted to tell her when I made the decision. I knew it was going to happen. I just knew at that time. Like, it's a big thing. So I hang up and I call my social worker and I'm angry. And she told me, it's going to be hard. The recipient is going to glow and she's going to recover a lot faster than the donor is because she's receiving something she needs. You're losing something you don't need to lose. It's going to be hard. And it was very hard.
So in the documentary, Raquel is her, like, only friend. Or, like, her only bestie, right? Like, she's around all the time. And she's also kind of her punching bag. Like, she does not like this girl. Just watch this strange interaction after they get back from doing whatever they did in Kenya.
No, I'd rather do what I'm doing. I'm not going to that. I have to shoot a music video the next day.
Nice.
I mean, it's a lot.
It'll be good.
No, it is good, but you know, you're gonna be kind of messed up for a few days.
Yeah, totally. Just thought you would want to come with
I
us.
would, but I'm not gonna have one day to adjust.
Okay.
Do you think that I'm complaining about my job?
Yeah. You sounded like you were.
Not at all. Raquel was saying I need to get rest. Not like it's a bad thing. Of
No,
course
it's not a bad thing
would've-
at all. I was the way that you said. It's not what you said.
So I was not complaining about work. I was literally just complaining that it'd be nice if I get more sleep. You think I'm ungrateful for it?
No, I don't think you're ungrateful. I just feel like you've been so down kind of the past couple days. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. We had the most amazing week in Africa.
I know. I'm just waking up. You've heard me everybody how much I love London. What else do you want from me?
Nothing. I just was asking, are you good? Because you don't seem happy.
I'm having fun.
Good. I'm so happy you're having fun. Like, it doesn't seem like it to me. So I was just asking you.
So,
And I think it's also kind of clear based on what she says that Selena does have an interest in charity work, but is likely just misguided or confused or just so out of touch that she doesn't even know which direction to go in. Like, she has to be told which charities to donate to, or which charities, quote unquote, need the most help, or which charities are the most popular. Like, UNICEF and UN charities are very much taken care of. Like, those ones are very popular. So I'm not surprised that she went with UNICEF. I think to understand Selena's motives a bit more and to also understand celebrity philanthropy and charity work better in general, we need to take a look at effective altruism. Oh, fancy words. Effective altruism is a philosophical movement and/or idea that advocates using evidence and reason to figure out how to benefit others as much as possible and taking action on that basis. Effective altruism comes under a lot of criticism from leftists because it's disingenuous, in my opinion. One critique by Paul Gomberg, sorry, Paul, says that if it promotes political quietism by shifting our focus from political, social, and economic issues to abstract philosophical arguments, it's useless. But my favorite critique thus far about charity that I've read comes from this Jacobin article. I never know how to say this publication's name right, so I'm so sorry. But it's this piece called Against Charity, and I'll link it in the description because I don't remember the author's name right now. But essentially it says, but while we can speculate about the prospects for a socialist revolution, the problem with effective altruism goes even deeper than disagreement about the best way to improve the lives of the global poor. The core problem is the bourgeoisie moral philosophy that the movement rests upon. Effective altruists abstract from and thereby exonerate the social dynamics constitutive of capitalism. The result is a simultaneously flawed moral and structural analysis that aspires to fix the world's most pressing problems on capitalist terms. Effective altruists treat charities as black boxes. Money goes in, good consequences come out. The desire to achieve salutary results becomes an imperative to give money to charities. This is an excellent explanation for why Selena and others stay so quiet during conflicts like these, because they have truly nothing of substance to add other than, I think the killing is bad on both sides, or killing of innocent children on both sides is bad. Like, no shit. We know that. That's very surface level thinking. It's a blanket statement that requires no further analysis that everyone can agree with. This also explains why these people can never explain why they give, other than some empty shit like, oh, I just feel compelled to. Or I just have to give back. Give back to what? And whom? And why? And how? Right? Another big leftist critique of charity is that it's just more effective to give right to the source, right? Like, why give to Salvation Army, a homophobic and very poor excuse for a thrift store? Seriously, I can't ever find shit in there. When you can just give $10 to a homeless neighbor, or why give to these large, super large Bill Gates owned charities when you can give directly to like your local nonprofit, right? Like, smaller organizations often make for larger transparency.
Back in the 1970s, I wrote an article called Famine, Affluence and Morality, which was encouraging us to be altruistic and suggested that if we were affluent, then morality required that we help people to some degree. So I used the story of rescuing a drowning child in a shallow pond, and I said that if you saw such a child and you were the only person there to stop the child drowning, but you didn't do it because you were wearing expensive clothes you didn't want to ruin, that would be a horrible thing to do. But if you agree that that's a horrible thing to do when the child is in front of you, then what about when the child isn't in front of you but is in a different country? But you can still be very confident that your donation will help them.
I also want to point out that if effective altruists really believed in effective altruism, there would be no billionaires because ethical billionaires do not exist. Effective altruists also often overlook the work being done in smaller, poorer communities, right? We've already been doing that for each other down here. We just didn't have a big fancy academic word for it. It's fucking called sharing. So no, Selena Gomez is not an activist, not even close. She could travel to Kenya a million times. It still won't come close to the work of your local neighborhood activist who is organizing protests and walkouts, rallies, publishing zines, setting up GoFundMe's, and on and on and on. UNICEF argues on their website that they're one of the better charities, and 90% of their funds go directly to children, which needs to be confirmed by a second set of eyes before I believe it.
Because I shouldn't have spoken to them.
I think that celebrities are often cocooned in a little echo chamber, right? And surrounded by a lot of yes people. And I think that the Today Show interview with Francia is a reflection of that. Like, these interviews are essentially fake, right? Like, the close-up shots, the transitions, the music, it's all trying to tell you how to feel. It's evoking an emotion from you. And then once the emotion is set, we can start with the questions that have all been pre-approved by Selena's team. And I think it's more likely that Francia doesn't have a team, as her career is not as big as Selena's, and a lot of her roles are supporting roles, which isn't a bad thing. Like, she's successful in her own right. But Selena's career just requires more priming, right? Anyway, I noticed after watching that most, if not all, of these questions are directed at Selena and her recovery and not Francia's. And it's not until this BuzzFeed article that I actually got to hear Francia speak about her recovery in her own words. In addition to the Today Show interview, the documentary as well that was made for Apple TV was like super curated, and very much wanted a sympathetic response from the audience, but it didn't get one for me. I was having trouble sympathizing with her. Like, obviously, you know, the lupus sucks, right? No shit. Obviously, like, having an autoimmune disease sucks. Obviously, like, being chronically ill sucks. Obviously, like, feeling overworked and, you know, underappreciated sucks. But, like, what sucks to her is far different than what sucks to like your average person. Like, she has money to treat her lupus and all the symptoms that come with it, right? She has money for surgeries. She has money for the best of the best doctors. She doesn't have to worry about any of that stuff. She doesn't have to worry about not having health care. Like, she's good there. Same with her mental health. Like, she can afford the best resources for that. So it's hard to feel bad, which is why I don't really understand why documentaries like these are made anyway. And this is kind of a tangent, but I just don't know what they want from us as an audience. Like, what do you want to hear? Like, oh, boo-hoo, your life is so hard. Is that what you want to hear? Like, I'm confused. But anyway, there's really nothing in this documentary or in Selena's life, right, that she deals with that your average person isn't also dealing with. She's just doing it in front of an audience, and willingly, or else this documentary would not have been made. She has millions of dollars. She's incredibly lucky. She should not have to sit on a transplant list for 10 plus years. Like, I can't feel bad for her, really. I mean, like I said, autoimmune diseases suck. We all know that. But I think what we can learn from all these debacles is that we shouldn't be looking to celebrities or billionaires or even millionaires or anyone who has close to that amount of money for any guidance at all. They are on a different planet. They are unfathomably and dangerously out of touch. Like, the working class has always been at the forefront of revolution, not the bourgeoisie, not rich people, not property owners, not owners of capital, but the working class has always been at the forefront. And they are who we should look to for guidance and for advice on socioeconomic conflict or even global conflict, because they're the ones living it and they're the ones who experience it every day. But in conclusion, the lesson that we should all learn is that we should not look to celebrities or billionaires to solve the world's problems, as they have very little incentive to do so. I can kind of understand Selena's frustration behind deleting her account after being called out for her silence on Palestine, but at the same time I can't, because she has literally positioned herself as a humanitarian, a literal UNICEF ambassador. And thousands among millions of children are being killed right now on the Gaza Strip and in Palestine, right? She's put herself in this position. So that's why people are tagging her and messaging her and mentioning her and being like, bitch, say something. Because you quite literally have put yourself in this position. So that's why I can't feel bad. She could give a fraction of her wealth and still be completely fine. And then you have people who make like 20K a year giving and donating. And they're not even sure that the donations are making it over there and they're still giving. So there's no excuse. Like there's no excuse. Celebrities are just dumb. And like that sounds mean, but they are, right? Like they don't go to school like normal people go to school. They don't pursue higher education. They don't have street smarts most of the time, like because they don't mingle with regular real people. Like it's just it's a lost cause. Okay. If you want to keep buying rare beauty, I mean you can. I won't respect you for it. But that's my opinion. And, you know, like in every video, it's all about analysis, right? Like I don't know these people. I don't know Selena. She could be really great. But from what I've seen, I don't think she's really great. And the vendetta that I have against her music career is that I just don't like her music. That's my only vendetta. It's just a personal opinion. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. Check out the store. Check out the links in the link tree. There's been some new links added. Go Fund Gav. Check that out. And thank you for watching. Hopefully I'm thinking about doing a live stream soon, so maybe I'll do that. But I'm planning and I'm plotting and I'm trying to make shit happen. So just be patient, and I'll have new videos for you. Thank you. Bye.